Okay, so welcome to today's Circle Chat. I am so excited to be here for episode 4 of season 1. Welcome to the Circle Chat. I'm so excited to be here for episode 4 of season 1. How y'all doing?
How's it going?
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so as everyone is coming into the room, make sure, or should I say the circle, make sure that you drop your name and where you are checking in from. We want to know where you're tuning in from. We want to connect with y'all. We want to be nosy. We want to be all up in your business just a little bit, Okay, everyone. So my name is Vanessa. I am the founder of Sunny Days Creative Studio, and I provide website design and email marketing for online coaches, consultants, and creative entrepreneurs so that their websites and email marketing systems sell for them. And I'm also your host of the Circle Chats. Now I'm going to introduce y'all to my beautiful co-host, starting with the wonderful Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm a digital design strategist, and I work with Show It websites, and I help my clients embody the essence of their brands by showcasing themselves and their services online.
Hi, I'm Julia Spector. I'm the founder of Impact Design by Julia, where I'm a creative marketing specialist, and I help brands and personal brands to show up online so that people can thrive in their businesses with websites, different marketing strategies, email marketing, and social media strategy.
Okay. And I'm Jazz. I am a foreign language specialist, the president and founder of Multilingual and Philanthropic Incorporated. Our focus is mainly on foreign language education, international education, helping all kinds of businesses and professionals be able to incorporate language and culture into them being able to seek international opportunities.
Awesome. Welcome, Kat. Welcome, Julia. Welcome, Jazz. And welcome to all y'all who are watching us live or who are catching the replay. So I just want to remind y'all again that drop your name, drop where you're checking in from into the chat. And also, if anything comes up for you, any aha moments, breakthroughs, quotes, anything that you want to share with us comes, to you, make sure that you drop it into the chat, because we are going to share that with everybody. And we're going to be answering some questions at the end of Circle Chats, okay? So let's just jump right into it. Ladies, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are finishing up. I apologize for the noise. We are finishing up the theme for the month of February, which is leave. And we are going to be really talking about how to implement better time-saving systems and processes so that you will have more time to step up as a leader and focus your energy on driving your business forward. So effective time management is not just about creating like a to-do list or just scheduling meetings. It's also about streamlining your processes so that you as a business owner can manage your workload more efficiently. After all, there are only 24 hours in a day, right? So we really want to optimize your workflow. You want to automate repetitive tasks and also delegate responsibilities so that you can make the most of your time and free up some mental bandwidth, like really have more of a peace of mind so that you can focus on strategic initiatives that will take your business to the very next level, because we're all about growth here in the collective, okay? So I want to also remind everyone who's watching and who's catching the replay to stay all the way until the end, because I want y'all to learn about a special freebie that we have from Kay. And it is just for the Circle Chat viewers today. And we are just going to get right into this amazing Circle Chats discussion today. So as always, I love to open up with the quote. We've been reading in book club a book called Own the Room, Discover Your Signature Voice to Master Your Leadership Presence. This book was written by Amy Jensu and Muriel Magnan Wilkins. So a quote that really drew our attention was actually brought up in book club today by one of our collective members, Emily. Emily, if you're there, let us know. Like, drop a fire emoji, because this one's for you. Okay, love. So Emily brought the quote that they may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And I think this is beautiful because it really ties into the theme of lead. You know, when you step into the limelight as a leader in your business, with your clients, with your students, with your customers, you want to, you know, you're going to be exhibiting like a certain vibe, and that vibe is going to make people feel a certain way. And we really want to be aware about how we're making people feel as we interact with them as leaders, okay? So this actually does tie into time management. We're going to do like a full circle kind of moment here, so just bear with us. But I want to actually get back to the theme of we're going to be discussing time management. So my question to my beautiful co-host is, what does time management mean to you within your business? And what does successful time management look like to you?
Did you want, okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, so for me, time management within my business, it has to do with being able to prioritize tasks in the order that they're supposed to be done, and just being able to feel like I'm actually getting the most out of my day by not getting sidetracked or shiny object syndrome and running off and doing something else. And there's a lot of things that you can use to help you with that. One thing that's great for time management, Vanessa, like V, actually got me onto this, and I friggin' love it. It's so good. It's called the Pomodoro method. There's like 1,000,007 different apps out there. So if I am working on a project or something, I want to make sure that I'm focusing on that thing. And Pomodoro method like really helps me focus on that thing, because what it is this timer where you work 15 minutes and then 15 to 30 minutes, and then you take like a 5-minute break or a 3-minute break. Like you can set it whichever way it goes. And when I'm really working on like a client's website or I'm working on branding, it's important to take breaks, because you need to step back. And when you're constantly staring at the same thing, all of a sudden, everything will just look wrong. It's like sometimes when you see a word come up on the screen and you're like, wait, why does that word look like it's spelled wrong? I know how to spell that word. So it's kind of like a similar feeling to that. So the Pomodoro method really helps to give you like a little break here and there and just like really focus in on what you're doing. And definitely that helps me to stay focused and prioritize all my stuff through the day. That's a big one for me.
Yeah, I love that. I also use the Pomodoro method, but I feel like I don't always like pull up the website. Sometimes I'll just set the timers on my phone, because like I kind of know like, okay, because I feel like sometimes I'd like to work for maybe like focus for like 45 minutes and then take like a 15-minute break. But yeah, I love like intentional work and then taking a break, because sometimes you can like get so focused on something and you just need to like step back and see it from a different perspective. And like when we want to be creative, it's nice to just like go on a walk or do something that can facilitate some of our best ideas. Because when we're super stressed, overthinking something, and we've been staring at our computers for too long, it's hard to be creative sometimes. But yeah, I feel like time management is definitely something that is like an ongoing thing that I'm always working on and always trying to improve. And I think with a super busy schedule, it can be very difficult, but I think using my calendar as much as possible, time blocking, all of those techniques have been really, really helpful, like intentionally writing down my to-do list, which I still really struggle with. I write way too many things on my to-do list and then I never accomplish them. And then I'm always like, I often feel that I was that I did not get enough done for the day, but then I have to go ahead and reframe that and let myself know that, okay, I did a great job. I did the best job that I could do, and just feeling proud of what you did accomplish or what you were able to accomplish for that day. So I think a lot of it is like showing yourself grace and self-acceptance and knowing that you're trying your best for the moment. You have different amounts of energy at different times. Sometimes you're going to be super creative. Sometimes you're going to be super driven to exercise or something else. So I think it's partly time blocking and partly going with the flow and just finding what works for you.
Mhm.
Prioritization too.
Yeah, it's like also like part of time management is also like in a way health management, because I just have this habit where I just don't stop. Like, especially like even at with my job at the courthouse, my boss has to tell me to go home. She's like, Jazz, it's like, you've been here for like 8 hours. You need to go. And I'm just like, because I'm also on the autistic spectrum. Like I'm high functioning. Like I still like, it doesn't affect how I interact with people, to a high, to a big degree, but still like I have like unhealthy fixations. It's like, I don't stop until I get done. And then when I got carpal tunnel, I realized like I had to kind of figure out a way to make sure that there's always rest time. I think with time management, we sometimes put more emphasis on how we get stuff done, like in terms of productivity, but you also have to make sure you're putting rest in there. And I think I might have mentioned this earlier on in the series, but it was like, actually putting time in my calendar where this is rest time. Even like in business wise, it's like this day, like Sunday, I actually block that off to where it actually is set up to where I won't be able to accept any calendar invites at that time. Because I'm tired. I wake up at 4 a.m. I do my work for like 3 hours, and then I go to work, and then I come home and I'm usually dealing with like meetings or, students that I'm teaching at that time. So it's like, I went to the doctor today and I was like, I just feel like sometimes I'm just permanently tired, and it shows sometimes in how I show up. So as much as like, it's great to have like, just as another perspective, it's like, as much as it's great to have, your routine when it comes to the productivity side, remember that, rest is also just as important, because if you can't function, especially if you're like me, where I'm the only person running this entire organization, and until I'm able to get other help, it's all on me, which means I have to make sure that I don't fall apart. Because if I fall apart, then the whole organization falls apart. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can definitely resonate with that too. And yeah, I feel like finding times like I'm going on vacation to Portugal in 2 weeks. And so I feel like I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go and work a lot right now and the time leading up to that. But I think just like having even like time to sleep and then time to like rest and take a break from working. I think that's really important. You can come back feeling refreshed.
Yes, rest is productive. Okay. Somebody type in the chat, rest is productive. And I just want to bring up a comment that Sarah Dale posted in the chat. She said, I'm so happy for tips on time management. As a homeschool mom of 2, it's definitely a challenge. Yeah, so thinking about not just time management in your business, but time management in your personal life as well, right? How are you really carving out time, even if you're not currently working right now, or you chose to do something else, right? Because being a homeschool mom, that's a job. Okay, you're everything to the babies that you are homeschooling. Okay, so I actually feel like that's major. That's major. I actually homeschooled one of my children as well, so I know exactly what it's like. But creating a curriculum for your children at home on top of running the household, that's a lot. So it's like, can you find a method that works for you, Sarah, where, if you can't carve out time when your children are taking a nap, or when they're busy doing an art project, for you to just like make a cup of tea or coffee. I don't know what you drink. I don't know what your preference is. If you want to drop into the chat, that would be awesome. But like, just have a moment to breathe, a moment to rest. Like Jazz says, rest is, important. She schedules that. You can do the same, whatever it is that you want to do for yourself, carve out the time when the children are preoccupied. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Because she actually says, oh, sorry, I have my Invisalign in and sometimes it just makes me go, but she actually says, thank you. I'm working on building a brand apart from that on top of everything else.
Wow.
And yeah, building a brand is hard. It's hard. We also had another comment from Jolene that shared her time management for her, and time management for her, and this one's beautiful, means grace. And she's good at making a schedule and utilizing Google Calendar to preset batch working and all her other to-dos throughout the week, including like home stuff like cooking, cleaning, traveling stuff, which is so important. And I'm actually doing that right now because I'm in the middle of trying to plan a destination wedding and run my business. And it is absolutely insane when I have so many people contacting me and I'm just like, I'm in a meeting, but this is important too. So yeah, I totally get that. And giving yourself grace and making sure that you're taking the time for yourself is.
And especially since you're mentioning that, like for me, like my parents don't always like it, but I usually have my phone sometimes on do not disturb when I'm like, especially because sometimes like my phone will go off, especially with certain notifications, and it's really hard to concentrate. And so like, oh, we haven't been able to get a hold of you. Actually, no, the other day, my mom, I saw a text from my mom in the morning, and she was asking me about taking something to lunch, and I was like, oh, it's okay, I got something. She said, I sent this text message last night. But the thing is, I actually, my phone goes into night mode at 7:45 p.m. So anytime any message that anybody sends me, I get it first thing in the morning when I get to work. So that way it doesn't affect how I start my day, and it doesn't affect how like me being able to have the process of actually getting up in the morning or even going to bed, because that's like the worst.
Oh
I totally feel that. I put my phone in airplane mode overnight actually, because like sometimes I just like can't stop on like my phone. I can't stop my brain from just like spinning. And so I started putting my phone in airplane mode, kind of like what you said. So kind of similar to do not disturb, but yeah, I get text notifications in the morning when I turn it on after my morning routine.
Besides like putting your phone on airplane mode and putting it in on like silent, just to kind of like piggyback off of how Jolene's saying that she utilizes Google Calendar as a tool, one of her favorite systems. What is your favorite system that you guys have implemented within your business to help you keep streamlined and on track? And like, what features do you like in this system? For myself, I'm currently obsessed with Dubsado. It is my go-to client management system when it comes to managing clients. I'm able to invoice them. I'm able to time track my time. I'm able to see all of the emails, bam, right there, take payment. It's absolutely amazing. On top of that, I use well, right now I've kind of taken a step back from social media, but I use templates when I do my social media posts, and it's part of my little freebie for you there. I'm just going to kind of throw it in there, but I have a time management saving tool when it comes to your social media, and I'll talk about that at the end, but you got to stay to the end for it. But I want to hear what your favorite systems are and how you guys implement them in your business. And if you guys in the chat have any, I want to hear them as well, because I'm always on the lookout for a new system. Anything that can make me more productive, I am in.
I'm right there with you, Kay. I'm like, I am tech bae, okay? Listen, I am obsessed with seeing what the latest tech platforms are that will help us streamline our online businesses. So I'm a sucker for that 2-week trial. I'm a sucker for that 30-day trial. I will literally sign up for something, try out all the features, and I will put on my Google Calendar a notification to cancel it before the trial ends. Because I sign up for so many free trials, it's too many to keep track of. And I am trying to keep my monthly business expenses low so that I can continue being profitable. And also I don't want my bookkeeper and my accountant to be yelling at me because we have goals set up and they're holding me accountable. So, but I also need to hold myself accountable as well. But like, I feel like I get sucked into the 2-week trials for the tech platforms. But there's 3 that are my favorite, and they're actually, 2 of them are free. So one of them is Asana, and I actually track my daily tasks in Asana. So I track what I have to do for my business, like in my business, and what I'm doing on, like, to basically up level my business. And then I also track stuff that's going on with my household as well. So I have like separate calendars, and I go like extra mile. This is extra. I do the most, y'all. Because I have a lot of children. So I like to write things down because I will forget if I don't write it down, but I'll actually track my goals month by month. So for January, I'll have my goals, 3 goals, then, and I do that for January, February, March. And then I will assess, and I'll be working on new goals for the next quarter. And I found that when I use a Kanban style board, and I don't know if anyone out here likes that style, I love it for my goals. I love it. I love it. So if y'all use Asana, like, let me know. Like, I feel like I'm not using all the features. Okay, we're gonna have to chat. We're gonna have to chat because I know there's some features in there that I'm not using fully that I should be. Like, I just found out that I could actually upload a photo, like an image, to each task that I'm working on. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I did not know that. So I can only imagine what other features there are that I could be using as well. So if y'all know of like any like cool features in Asana, drop them in the chat. I would love to know. I would love to try them out. The second tool that time management system that I'm obsessed with is Google Calendar. And Google Calendar is connected to my phone. It's connected to everything. It's connected to my 3rd time management system that I use, which is my client management system, which Kay, I know you use Dipsado, but I actually use HoneyBooks.
I used to use HoneyBook.
Okay.
And I had an issue with them that they weren't able to provide something that Dubsado had. And then my bookkeeper gave me a discount for Dubsado. And I was like, all right, I'm making the switch. And then I switched out of HoneyBook.
Okay. Well, you did what you had to do. I mean, I would do the same thing because I feel like when you are going to use different systems to help streamline your business, you want to make sure that it's going to meet whatever your requirements are or whatever your goals are for your business. Because you're paying for it. I mean, once that trial ends, you're paying for it, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna share because I also use some of the same tech tools that you both mentioned, but I'm gonna share 2 different ones that we have not mentioned, and I believe Emily is in the chat. So we both are using Kartra. I believe Emily's there, and we're learning how to use it as we're building courses in Louise Henry's course about building a course. So I'm launching a course, Marketing Made Magnetic. And so it's for female, I'm so excited. It's a 3-month program for female entrepreneurs to really thrive in their businesses through creating their high converting marketing strategies, launching email marketing, learning about powerful AI tools and different techniques so that they can have a repeatable marketing strategy each month. And I'm creating it all in Kartra. So Kartra is brand new for me. It can host your course. It can host all of your email marketing. You can host a whole affiliate program in Kartra, which I'm super excited to figure out how to set up the affiliate program. That is definitely on my mind. I'm very excited about the sales funnel possibilities within Kartra. You can host all of your sales pages, all the payment processes are all in Kartra. you can set up your whole sales funnel. So your like sales page, leading into like an email sequence, just everything connects together. And it's just been so interesting to explore and learn about this whole new platform. And it's going to host my whole email list and everything. So I'm super excited about that. I've also been really into new AI tools, and one of the, yeah, I know we've both been talking about that a lot.
Here
There's so
comes the
many exciting
AI,
ones.
the AI
All right.
conversation.
Oh my
How
God.
far-
I
how deep
love
are we
it.
gonna go?
Which we love it.
It's a tool. People should be
Yeah.
using it. You shouldn't feel threatened. You should not feel threatened by AI. You should only feel threatened by AI if you are not giving it your business your all.
Yeah,
it.
I totally agree with that. I think it's going to be the way of the future. I think you just have to hop on with new technologies and new innovations, because it's really just going to revolutionize pretty much every single industry. So I'm definitely all for Cat. I totally agree with that. And so obviously Chat GPT, like everybody is using for different implications and different things. It's really, really interesting, but one that I'm using and that I'm really, really diving into is Descript. So let me know in the chat. I know Emily's using Descript, but it's an AI powered video editing tool. And so you can screen record yourself. You can record yourself on camera. You can record your screen with a little circle yourself. And when you're done recording in there, you can edit just like a document. So you highlight a sentence and it deletes the sentence. It's so quick and easy to edit. With one click of a button, you can turn on studio sound. You can remove, I was editing a video yesterday and it came up that I had like 73 pauses that were longer than a second. And so just with one click, it just deletes everything. And after editing for like years and years and years in Adobe Premiere Pro, this Descript is just so fast and it's just like really revolutionizing video editing. So yeah, so definitely use all the new tools out there and don't be afraid of trying AI tools.
I just put the link for Descript into the chat for our
Yeah.
viewers there. I'm also going to go and throw in a link to Dipsado. I'm going to throw in a link to Asana, and I'm also going to throw in a link to Kartra, because I know there's a lot of other business owners in here. I'm also going to throw in whatever Jazz has to say.
Yeah, for me, I primarily love using Notion because everything's just all inclusive, and kind of like, like with Google Drive, it's like, of course you have like you can create like a bunch of different types of documents, but usually with Notion, it's like when I create like, a file or whatever you call it, like a little page, I basically could put any type of information I want. I could put like a spreadsheet in there and it will calculate whatever I want. So it's like Google Sheets and document all in one. I can actually include photos directly there. I can actually upload audios there, which is actually helpful when I do pronunciation guides for a lot of my students, so that I just share the link, and if whatever they're reading, they can actually listen to me like saying whatever it is that they need to hear. A lot of times, like I can put links in there, like I can embed things, like even like with like Spotify playlist, because sometimes I'll give them like music recommendations, and it's like a little embedded thing on there where you can actually play the Spotify playlist from there. Web pages can be embedded in there, so you can just find it on that. So it's just helpful for everything to be all inclusive. And then also with all of our nonprofit, like especially stuff for like our board of directors, all their information is in there with what they need. And I because for me, I like databases. So it's also great that I can create pages, and then I can put pages in there if there's like any more specific information. I use it even personally because I am very anal about my personal spending. So I always make sure that I log in every expense that I have. I calculate the percentages of like how much I spent last month compared to this month. Like I spent, I don't know, like 25% more on personal spending than anything else on, one category or something like that. So it's very great for like people who are very analytical. So yeah, that's Notion.
Love it.
Yeah. It's like a notion.so. It's not like a .com or anything, but it's like, but I just want to make sure I put that in there.
Yeah, I got it in the chat for you. And I've heard of Notion, and there's a really big designer that I really follow and I admire, and she does everything on Notion. But I'm happy with Dubsado right now, and I'm not ready to learn a new system just yet, but it's on my list. So I might be hitting you up, Jazz, to give me a
Yeah.
crash course in Notion.
Yeah, another tool I really like is NordVPN. I buy it like with like the subscriptions at like the 2-year plans. I don't have, because the longer I can go without having to pay anything is great. It's like right now, like if it's like a first time sign up, it's like $83 or something for 2 years. And basically I use it because first of all, when it comes to online security, depending on the nature of what I'm working on, I will usually protect my data that way. And then also if I'm trying to watch French TV, which I do a lot, and also I like use it to find resources, because when you Google search things with a US IP address, you're going to find searches that are common for people in your country versus being able, like if you're looking for podcast, like Italian podcasts, you're going to learn Italian in the US IP address versus if you're using an Italian IP address, you're going to actually find native speaker podcasts that I actually am looking for.
I like that.
I hope y'all caught that gem that Jazz just dropped, okay?
Mhm,
Because that was a major gem.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could be listening to podcasts in Italian, but that's really cool though.
Jazz, did you have one more time management system that you want to share, or is that, pretty much it? You just have like 2 that you cannot live without.
Yeah, those 2 more than anything else. The other thing is like I think a time management thing. What else? I'm trying to think, what else do I use? It's mostly Notion, NordVPN, and then also I use other tools. I forget what it's called, but basically it's like also Google Suites. I have to use that because that's that separates all of my emails from my personal, because before I was using that, I was using everything was going through my personal, and I was like, I can't have that. So and I like how everything's filtered, and then I can do like, all of my documents are connected, everything's connected that way. Calendar as well, and then through my phone, both my personal and my business calendar events show up on the same thing, so at least I'll be able to know what's going on either way, whether it's personal or not, but that way I can separate it.
I have that hooked up as well, and I love it that way, because even in on my Mac, I use just like the mail app that comes with Mac, and I have it connected to my Gmail, and then I also have it connected to my business email, and it separates them right in there. And then it also like separates it on my calendar, and I know how useful that is. So I fully second that, Jazz. And
Yeah.
Jolene is saying that Jazz needs to create a freebie on explaining all of her favorite tools. So that's actually a great idea for you guys. Jazz will be dropping one more freebie before our final episode on March 23rd. So maybe you'll get your wish, Jolene.
Yeah.
I'll work on it.
Oh, Jazz, I also wanted to say, like, I've heard of Notion, but I haven't personally used it, but I know that it's perfect for your industry because it supports all types of languages, right? Like Korean, Japanese, French, and German. Have you like used those features?
Yeah, like I remember when they finally, because they send us email notifications, they're like, hey, like it's available in this language. And I'm like, it was available in French. And I was like, oh, well, I'm automatically going to just change it because my whole computer is in French right now. My whole Google account. My phone, however, is in Italian, which I actually need to change that because I'm going to Mexico this spring for Kat's wedding. So I'm like, I need to change it. But but the thing is that like but I was happy that they had that available because it's a new platform, so they're like slowly allowing things to become more available. And like the moment they said it was available in French, I'm like, because I'm telling you right now at this point, I don't like English. I mean, it's my native language, but like when you speak 10, it's like this. It's annoying when you speak it every day. Like something different.
Like eating the same thing for dinner every night.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Pretty much. So I love that. Yeah, this talk about time management and all the tools that we use is like really challenging me to think about the systems and how we can better use them, right? I know in the collective, we had a master class where we had Tiff come in and talk about streamlining our businesses. And I feel like, really paying attention to the features is something that she brought up that it's not something that we really think about. And Jazz, you talking about, using the language feature and Notion is helpful for you. So I really want to challenge everyone to think about, like, are you really using all the features in whatever systems it is? And if not, is there another system out there that you can use that has features that you're actually going to use, Because you could be actually, I don't want to say like, I don't like the term really like shooting yourself in the foot, but pretty much shooting yourself in the foot when you sign up for something and you're not even taking advantage of it. It's like having a Netflix subscription and you don't even sit down to watch Netflix once a week. Like, why? You should, at this point, you should just cancel it. Like, what do you spend your time doing? Painting? Okay, well, take that money and invest it into painting, because it's something that actually is beneficial for you because you actually do it. So it's just really, good to reflect and think about your systems that you're using for time management and whether or not they are helping or hurting.
Yeah.
I also loved her analogy. I feel like that was such a powerful masterclass. Like, I had so many takeaways from it, but I really love the analogy. And I've been thinking about it pretty often, actually, about the analogy that I believe she said, think about your life in like different cups and you're filling up different cups. Like, okay, maybe you need to focus a little bit more on social. Maybe this cup is a little bit empty. Or maybe you're like, need to fill up more in your rest cup or your business cup or whatever it is. Just kind of finding balance across the board. Because I think sometimes we can feel out of balance, like if we're not spending enough time for ourselves and too much time in our businesses or not enough time with our friends. Or if we spend too much time with our friends and not enough time on our business or whatever our goals are. So I think it's a lot about finding balance and finding what that comfortable balance and what that flow balance feels for you. And so I feel like I just wanted to share that analogy because that honestly is like a good way to think about different things and not to feel guilty if you don't have to work all the time, which I kind of do that right now because I'm trying to create so many things and I have just so much going on, but I know that this is a temporary phase and I'm going to come back into balance in a different stage or different season.
I have like a question because like now that I'm thinking about it, when we think about like managing our relationships, especially when it comes to like work and things like that, because I know Kat, I know you're planning a wedding on top of running a business. Like, when do you know when to say no? Because I'm telling you, sometimes I'm just like, if I've been up since 4 a.m, I went to work, I came home, I taught someone, and then someone like asked me to go to a Bible study class, which I don't mind, I love God, but I'm like, it's 10 o'clock. I go to bed at 8 because I got to get up at 4, like, when is it like where it's like, there's a lot going on and it's like, what am I saying no?
I believe that comes back to like just having what your priorities are in check and just making sure that like you're not losing focus. Oh, thank you. Jolene says, by the way, congrats, Kat. But that you're not losing focus, like me right there. That you're not losing focus and that you're continuing to work on something like that, like something that I do, which you guys know, but our audience might not know about. And I'm really implementing it after my rebrand is done. And after I've launched my new website, double batch Fridays. I invented this. This is my idea. This is how I'm going to prioritize my time. I'm no longer going to be working for clients on Friday. I'm sending out an email to my clients, letting them know it's going in my contract. Fridays are my day to work on my business because I am a one-woman team and I need to make sure that I'm prioritizing that. That being said, social media needs to get done. Blog articles need to get written. I can't constantly be thinking about that throughout the week when I'm working on client work. That has to be a priority. So on Fridays, what I do is one Friday, I'll write 2 blog articles, right? So I have 2 weeks covered. The next Friday is going to be a social media content creation Friday, whether that's like stories or TikToks or whatever it is I'm creating so that I don't have to worry about it for 2 weeks. And then I just rinse and repeat. And that way I'm always ahead of the game and I'm okay. And my clients are being prioritized. Now, when something like the wedding comes into play, it does make it a little bit more difficult. But luckily for me, I do work from home. So I am able to sometimes kind of throughout the day, just be like, oh, I'm going to shoot a little quick text message here, but I'm very quick right away to get right back into what I was doing, because sending this text message is not, this is costing me money. This is making me money. So I'm very quick to try and understand what my priorities are, and trying to, somebody said it in here and I can't remember who said it, but trying to remember why you were there. I think Shay might have said that earlier in book club today. Is that where I got that from? That remembering why you're there and being present in that moment as to why did she say that, V? Am I going crazy?
You know, are you merging all the meetings, all the collective events together?
I'm just merging everything. But yeah, just being present in that moment, understanding why you're there and what you're doing there, and showing up with purpose.
Yes, yes. Showing up with purpose is so important. And to go back to what you were asking, Cat Jazz, like not Cat Jazz, like y'all not one person, but you know what I'm saying.
Merge them
Jazz,
together.
you asked Cat a question about, you know, how do you say no, right? And for me, it comes down to boundaries. It comes down to boundaries first and foremost. And the way that you know what to say yes to and what to say no to is, what are your values? I have a friend of mine who's a boundaries coach, and she broke this down so simple and said, pick 5 things that you value. You know, it could be family, it could be your career, it could be leisure time, anything, right? That's just intrinsically important to you. And whenever somebody asks you to do something and it doesn't fit within those 5 values, say, you know what, thank you so much for thinking of me, but I'm gonna have to decline. But I do know somebody who may be interested in that, you know, and you can always refer them to somebody else so that you're not leaving somebody hanging. Because you don't, you know, this goes back to the quote that I shared earlier about, you know, they may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So if you're not able to do something for somebody and you say, you know what, no, I'm gonna have to decline, at least you refer them to somebody that could help them. So they're gonna have a feeling of maybe like security, or like feel like well cared for, you know, that you cared enough for them to be honest with them, and also to help them achieve whatever it is that they came to you for. But you don't have to be the person to do it, but you can help them find somebody who can help them achieve whatever it is that you're trying to do.
I love that. That's a really good way of saying no. I feel like I never thought about it from that perspective before, but I definitely think I'm a people pleaser, and I have a really hard time saying no, both to friend things and clients and just everything. Like the person who's going to say yes to everything, which is kind of where I'm at right now. I have too many things on my plate right now, which is exciting. It has positives and negatives. But I really like that idea about referring it to somebody else. That could be clients or that could be friends. But I really love that.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that too. And Emily says that quote is, she said, yes, that's the quote by Carl W. Buchner. And that is what she mentioned in book club today. So if you are not a collective member, listen, you're missing out, because in book club, we have these amazing discussions. Emily shares these amazing quotes, okay?
Always.
Always. She is the quote queen, okay?
She puts everything in the chat. You'll talk about something and all of a sudden there's a link to it in the chat.
Right. On it. I love that. I love that. And that's what the collective is about. It's about, you know, forming relationships and really being in a space with other women who just get you, you know? You don't have to explain all your funny quirks. I mean, unless you feel like it, but we understand, like, we're all just trying to figure it out. Like, entrepreneurship is like, ooh, okay. And when it's like down, like you have that support system built into the collective. We have some amazing threads, or community groups where you can connect with someone based on location. So if you live in New York City, there's a group for collective members who live in New York City or in Toronto, or I mean, all over. You have to get in there to check it out. Okay. There's a group that you can join for anything. If you're a foodie, you can join a group for foodies. If you are a mompreneur like me, you can join a group for mompreneurs. Okay. And you can talk about how your kids are getting on your nerves when you are trying to have a Zoom meeting. Okay. And ask for some tips and recommendations. So don't be shy. Get in there. We would love to continue these conversations with you, not just about leadership, but just everything that has to do with entrepreneurship, and how to grow your business.
Also, Shay supports us so much. Like, I love our group coaching calls, the hot seat coaching call that we do at the end of each month. It's literally so helpful to just like, even just like, she's so great about just knowing in like a clear, concise way, like what what direction we should be going on, and what exactly we should be focusing. And I feel like she just has such great advice in that coaching call at the end of each month. It's literally so valuable. So I feel like in addition to being surrounded with everybody and being a part of the collective with these lovely ladies, which I just absolutely love, it's just so nice to be in the same headspace and be around people who really understand you, who are also creative, innovative thinkers, and who are out of the box kind of people. And it just feels like it's just such an uplifting energy. And yeah, and then also getting Shay's insightful ideas on our business and support. It's just so invaluable.
Yeah, she really hooked me up one time. Like, we were doing something on like funnels, and it was like, I understand them, but like I don't understand them, and I can't really wrap my head around them. And she actually was like, okay, I'm gonna tackle this in a coaching call. And it's on, if you're part of the collective, you can go in and you can look at previous coaching calls, any previous master classes. But she literally dedicated like a whole like 20 minutes just to help me figure out and understand like what I was doing. She had like slides, and it was a full lesson plan, like just for me to get it. And I was just like, oh my God, love you, love this. And it helps so much. And it's really helping with the rebrand as well. So
I know, I loved that call. That was such a great breakdown.
Yeah, like some of the Yeah, she gave me like some recommendations that I think were helpful, because I was talking about like the fact that like one thing I'm really trying to work on is like investments, and because my goal is to eventually at some point become a serial entrepreneur, where it's like, you start a business but then like you move into other projects, or it's like, and I don't know, maybe at some point end up on Shark Tank, who knows. But it's like in terms of like investing, and she recommended this book to me. It was called Invested. It's by Danielle Town, and I think her dad is like also does like wrote like part of it as well. And it was really great because it really explained, like it was 12 chapters talking about 12 months that she went through of her dad explaining and teaching her how investing really works. And I realized, like there are a lot of things that, that I had really needed to learn, because, if you're going to invest, it's a great idea, because, you should, I mean, I'm 25 going on 26. And I think that now is the time to start, like, whatever age that you are right now is the time to start investing, because like it's in like the way that it calculates, it's like, oh, in like 30 years from now, when you're like 65, this is how much money you'll have. And it's like, oh, okay, wow. So
yeah, it's not just about investing in your business, it's about investing in yourself too. Like,
Yeah.
Right. And Sarah says, financially, I can't join anything new right now, but it's on my list. Love these Zoom meetings. Okay, we see you.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
Zoom meetings are gonna be around until March 23rd, and we might make a comeback. If not, we might not, but we'll be around till March 23rd, every Thursday, 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific Standard Time.
Yes, and the replays are gonna be available. They'll be in the Facebook group for as long as the Facebook group exists. So you can always, check that out. You can always ask your questions. You can, message us. We are in the Facebook group as well. So you'll see us commenting as well. Until it's time for you to, make that investment, Sarah. That's the goal. It's okay. You don't have to do everything all in at once. Rome was not built in a day. Your business will not be built in a day. So, give yourself some grace and just know that, that's something that you really want to do. Set it as a goal, right? And in the meantime, we're here for you in the Facebook group. So hit us up because we love connecting with y'all. We love chatting with y'all, sharing tips and tricks, and just, straight up circle chats, like online, out of Zoom. So don't be shy, say hi. I actually want to talk. I have like one little last question left. I want to know like what tools, okay, do you ladies and everyone who's watching, what do you use to help you with your marketing efforts?
Oh my gosh, that's Canva.
Canva, yes.
Social
Canva
media
for the
marketing.
win.
It's like I gotta have something that like, because like I'm not very good at like making things like cute and pretty. So I'm like, if there's templates I can at least have a baseline from, and then I just insert my whatever my logo colors are. If I want to make like small like little videos, like the template is there, and then I can just add a little picture frame thing, and then I just put in whatever video I want or photo I want. And then later is also very helpful because I can actually schedule everything out, and it's got like really detailed analytics from like what times of day that like the majority of your followers are on, what's the drop-off rate for your stories, outside of that. And then you also can see where your followers are located, and then who's like basically you can see which were your top posts, so you at least have an idea of what you're going to create for the next batch that you're going to probably create.
Yeah, I love Canva. I use Canva literally probably every single day. I use it in my full-time job because I actually run the social media accounts in my full-time job, and I use it in my business. I actually held a master class for some entrepreneurs. This was a little while back, but I'm thinking about bringing it back and doing this master class again. It was all about time-saving techniques within Canva and just like tips and tricks and different like shortcuts and different things. That's also going to be in my course too. I'm teaching a lot in Canva, and I feel like I use almost every single feature. Like I've made reels in Canva, I design logos all the time in Canva, social media templates, graphics, flyers, literally everything. So definitely start your Canva Pro trial. Also, you can set up your Canva brand kit, kind of like what Jazz was saying, with having your whole branding in Canva. And that way it'll just show up on the side. So whenever you're trying to customize anything, your brand kit will be all set up and you'll be all good to go. So definitely highly recommend checking out Canva if you have not already. I also am starting to really love Kartra, which I've already talked about for email marketing. For clients, I've used Flowdesk for email marketing. It's a very, very straightforward and streamlined email marketing system. I know a lot of people also use ConvertKit, which I've used a little bit for another client, but Flowdesk creates the most beautiful emails. It's super, super easy. And I feel like that's a very user-friendly platform for email marketing. But there's a lot out there.
Yes, so many. What about you?
Oh, I just want to say Flowdesk is great. I'm using MailerLite, which I love. I know V's on MailerLite. I got her on MailerLite. If you can't afford Flowdesk right now, MailerLite has amazing free features. Like blew my mind how much free stuff you get with MailerLite. But Flowdesk, I've had my eye on Flowdesk for a while, and the second I can jump ship on MailerLite, I might be joining Crew Flowdesk. But to answer the question, so the question was, what are some tools that we've implemented? I actually use templates, and I try to use, like I said, social media templates to help me keep on track when I'm doing any of my social media stuff, whether it be like carousels or posts or even like stories. But this ties in with my freebie. It also ties in with how awesome Canva is. Just like Jazz was saying, I created 10 free social media templates to rock your online business feed, your Instagram business feed. These templates were created in mind because I made sure that all the templates out there right now, like they're created only in that 1080 by 1080 square, right? They're all square for the most part. I made sure that these templates were created in portrait size, and not only are they going to look great in portrait size, they're sized exactly correctly that they will look amazing on your Instagram profile feed. So it's not going to be cut off, it's not going to look weird. They were designed with that in mind, and they were designed with user experience in mind, because I'm that kind of designer and I wanted to make sure that people had access to that. So if you are looking to level up your Instagram, definitely click the link on the bottom of this description today, and you'll have access to my templates. You can read the blog article on what each template is about. And of course, go in there, change the colors, throw your logo on there, right? Put your fonts in. They're just templates. Have fun with them. And that's my tool, and that's what I am recommending today.
Yes, so that is the perfect note to end the circle chats on. I want to thank Shay and Cassie for giving us this amazing opportunity to host the circle chats every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we invite y'all to continue these conversations in the Facebook community, okay? With that being said, I also want to announce another freebie that we have. We are giving you a 2-week free trial to the Bucketlist Bombshells Collective. So I know that, Sarah, if you're still out there, you're still watching, take advantage of the 2-week trial, just try it out. I feel like it's a gift, so receive the gift. And for everybody else out there, also, there's going to be a link to the collective 2-week trial that's for free. You're going to want to click on it. It's attached to this video, and for everyone catching the replay as well, it is available to you. And once you get into the collective, there's a new members group. We want you to say hi, introduce yourself, let us know what your business is and why you joined, so that we can connect with y'all. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for showing up and attending. And also, if you're catching the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to my wonderful co-hosts, Kat, Julia, and Jazz. And with that being said, have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Are